unclogging the nest that is in the exhaust. Ooh. Yeah, that'll pop back real hard on you. Today, we're gonna see if I can get my dilapidated 1973 Rt360 running. Last I left off was the oil pump cable was completely ruined. It's not in functioning condition anymore. The end rotted out, so I've got a new one over on the bench. Along with the fact that I don't have any spark. I'm gonna get started by sorting out the oil pump because that's a huge problem if that's not going to work. So to adjust the oil pump on these older Yamahas, there's this little mark right here, and these two are supposed to be together. So I'll show you guys in real time what it's actually supposed to look like. As you can see, I'm spinning this down there, and it's turning that whole gear. You might have to move this a little bit. The spring in this oil pump is not very good, so it likely needs a new one. But it's supposed to pretty much align. And there is supposed to be a little bit of resistance in there. So it's supposed to be like that. And while I'm in here, I want to make sure I get a little bit of oil to bleed out of the bottom of this. Because if it does, that means we're getting oil to the pump at least. Looks like we're getting some oil. I'm going to let that bleed through a little bit. So what I'm going to do over here is, since I have no spark, I'm going to go ahead and just try cleaning up the points. So there's a little mechanism in there that opens and closes when the flywheel goes around. I'm just gonna slide some sandpaper in and out of it and see if I can get some spark. Just a little bit, doesn't have to be crazy. I think you can see that bright blue flash pretty well now with the eye. That's great news. Flywheel off and the magneto off now, just because I want to change that crank seal in there, because obviously it's leaking pretty bad and there's no reason to leave it leaking if I can help it. And you do that because you don't want to drill a hole to make a whole bunch of shavings. So now this guy should be able to pop it out once I give it a little bit of treatment here. And then if you can kind of get some pliers in there and pull it out just like that. So you don't want to drive that screw in too far, because if you go in too far, you're going into a bearing, which that bearing doesn't look very good either. So that might be for another day. And just like that, the new seal is back in, and we are looking pretty good to throw it all back together besides all the dirt down there. I'm gonna let all those jets sit in the acetone while I work on some other stuff, one being the gas tank. I've had it sitting in vinegar for a very long time now, so it should be good and clean. Alright, well, I just neutralized the acid that was in the gas tank, and I'd say that looks pretty darn good for a 50-year-old gas tank in my opinion. Should be good to go. Now I'm gonna clean the outside and make sure that is all shined up and nice, just because why not? I have the tank off already, so I may as well shine it up. Well, I certainly think it's safe to say that that looks way better in comparison to how it used to look. I mean, obviously somebody spilled like acid or something on the gas tank and ripped off a whole bunch of paint, but I think the original look is cool. Gives it like a weird patina look. I am genuinely waiting for the day that I can take this outside and just pressure wash it off, because it is just gross. I've noticed an uptick in bugs in here as well. This thing has brought all sorts of spiders and whatnot into my garage, and I really am not enjoying it. I don't know if it's because it's becoming spring or something, but there are a lot more bugs in this garage than there were without this bike. And one of you guys actually commented on my video that I should just use an old sock when I don't have an air filter, so that's actually exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Excellent. Now we have a little bit of filtration so I don't suck up any wasps. There we go. So there's one more thing I unfortunately have to do before trying to get this thing to start up, and that would be unclogging the nest that is in the exhaust. Not excited for this one. That's gonna be a terrible time, really. Yeah, there's more in there, but it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, at least. Okay, well now that that nightmare is over, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the gas tank, get some fuel in it, and we're gonna try kicking it over. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well. All right, let's see if I break my foot. Ooh. Yeah, that'll pop back real hard on you. That'll hurt. Don't give it gas when kickstarting. Okay, well I've put some real boots on now. Because I don't want my foot to break. I think I gotta pull the carburetor back off. Let's try this out again. The pilot jet was a little gummed up again, so I went ahead and soaked that in acetone overnight. Probably something stuck in it, so that should have helped. Okay, so I pulled the spark plug back out after I tried push starting it quite a bit, and the spark plug wasn't sparking anymore, so I was like, huh, what happened? What changed? I then took this side cover off and noticed there was fuel in there. The reason there's fuel in there is because when this was overflowing and leaking, it was going straight in there somehow. I'm not quite sure. It probably was going in through where the wires go in, because that gasket's not very good. And that probably got gas all over the points and everything in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and clean all that off. Look at that! Ha! Alright guys, well I got it running. Haven't got it driving yet because the clutch is completely seized. It won't let me do anything really. So I'm gonna actually try and let it get all the way up to operating temperature. Hopefully get some heat into that transmission fluid and maybe that'll unfree it. If not, looks like I'm doing a clutch job. Headlight works, the tail light works. I don't know how half these things work. I'm trying to get it warm so I can break the clutch free, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Alright guys, well I'm gonna leave this video here because it finally runs. Obviously I've got some things to work out, like a clutch. That's in order. I let it get real hot and put it in gear and it just completely seized. I actually was able to ride it, but I didn't get footage of that, so that's unfortunate. But I couldn't ride it very far because the clutch was just seized and I was kind of just shifting through gears by forcing it into it, which is not necessarily what you want to do. Well, if you guys want to see more of this bike, it'll be on the channel some more, but that'll do it for this video. If you liked the video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.